I am on my way to Andy Orchids here in California Vista. They are having their first open house since COVID-19 and I'm super excited. They have 7 greenhouses and they claim to have 700,000, yes, I repeat, 700,000 plants in their greenhouses, which is supposed to be 7,000 different species. I saw pictures, it is gorgeous and beautiful, and I'm taking you guys along. So I went Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday I went with Luca, Esri and Sean, and then here you see was the second day I went with Eve, Hugo and Dee, and as you can see, Dee was super excited. I am building a terrarium, so I need a lot of plants that like high humidity, so I actually went just straight for the hothouse. Please watch to the end. The last clips are from 2 of Andy's Orchids Nursery workers. We were able to film them while they were pollinating plants, which is super interesting to see. Andy's Orchids is known, of course, for its amazing orchid collection, but they also have Hoyas and Philodendrons and Monsteras and a lot of Peperomias like this big one here. And it reminded me of a shiny Oaxaquiano leaf.
That is crazy.
Chunky.
I went for smaller Peperomia leaves for the terrarium. Small Rhipsalis, this one is so interesting. They had also huge pots of Rhipsalis. I cannot say how gigantic the nursery is. They had so many interesting different plants. Look at that dark green foliage with that deep burgundy color. And also they had the smaller ones. So the big one was not for sale. This was on Saturday, but the smaller ones were. This one is the Monolena Red Leaf. It is no secret that I wanted one of these so bad, but they were not for sale. I wouldn't sell them if they were mine, so I totally understand it.
Peperomia, he has it marked pepper with Columbia, but it's Peperomia.
It's like the teardrop one.
No, it's Jesus. I'd have to check my tag.
Of course, Andy Orchids had jewel orchids, and this dark green one with the white stripe in the middle stole my heart immediately. This was on Saturday and they still had a few smaller pots available like this one. When I came back on Sunday, the leaves were like super tiny. So I'm super happy that I was able to get one. Andy's Orchids is a dangerous place for us houseplants collectors. Almost none of the plants had price tags. I get it. Who wants to tag 700,000 plus plants? But it meant that all of us were just adding plants without even knowing the prices. Andy's Orchids also had, of course, beautiful ferns. They had mounted Dichidias, mounted Hoyas, and most of the plants were in sphagnum moss. Here we have the Hoya Bella, which was completely in sphagnum moss, and it was $18 US. There were a few plants that were in soil, but most of them are just growing in sphagnum moss and are mounted to wood. Monstera Siltepecana in sphagnum moss, growing super happy and healthy. $42 US. I would have to say no to that one. This is how it worked. They had these tables with baskets, and when you came out of a greenhouse and you had plants you would like to purchase, you would place them in your basket where you had your name on a piece of paper, and then you had your hands free to go on to the next greenhouse. And while you were out and about, Andy or his nursery workers came to add tags to your plants. So every now and then when you got back to your basket, you would find the price tags, and there were no hard feelings or pressure. If you didn't like the tag and the number on it, you were able to put the plant aside, and then someone came and brought the plant back to its original place. But also sometimes they would just take the plant and don't add a price tag because the plant were actually not for sale. I learned something new about myself. I love plants with thin leaves, and I love plants that are mounted on a piece of wood.
Oh, yeah.
Anthurium Lappoanum.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Like that plant she's looking at.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
This hairy, creepy plant is just gorgeous. Look at that leaves. This is a Reldia minutiflora, and of course not for sale. I would love to own one. And here we have a very huge big begonia. Of course, more not for sale. So Andy did had quite a few of these undescribed philodendrons, and I just love these super sweet tiny leaves. And I don't know, I feel they would be great for a terrarium to climb up the walls. So this is the undescribed philodendron or monstera. It has no sign, nothing on it. So I'm gonna try my luck to see if Andy knows what it is and if it's for sale and how much. So Andy said no, it's not for sale. Oh, the whole pot is covered with moss. That is gorgeous. That is beautiful. I don't know what kind of plant it is, but only the pot alone is so beautiful. So there's like one greenhouse after the other. One door leads to the next greenhouse. It is so big that you can get lost in here. Mounted Hoya Imbricata, not for sale unfortunately. But guys, look at this. And then you have just randomly plants or Rhipsalis hanging that are like right hanging in the way. So we've been here for hours now and we're still not done. And like I said, like unfortunately, like all the plants that I like are on sale. I have a few in my basket. I will show you I will do an update on the basket in a few seconds. But there's some good plants in here.
Like a lot of little flowers.
Exactly. And it's like
that
maybe
could be
yellowish.
It could be a bulbophyllum. It could be. There's so many things that could be.
It was just, I just noticed that it was heavily scented. That's what captured me.
Andy might know off the top. Do you remember where you saw it?
Hoya Cactus I mounted. This is the coolest flower ever. I need to go down and do a squat. That is like gorgeous. These are also super interesting. Oh shoot, that is pretty. Look at that beautiful basket. Day 2 Sunday, and on Saturday they did not head out these very super cute rare peperomias. So when I saw these on Sunday I was like super surprised, and Andy was like, yeah guys, you're lucky that I'm putting these out. So for this alone it was so worth it to go back for a second day.
Oh, no, it is, yeah. I don't know if it's like... No, Ray killed it. Yeah.
You killed it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one. Don't get one of those.
That's a photo opportunity plant. Isn't that awesome?
Incredible. Incredible.
Oh!
Oh, I love this. This is more than just beautiful, but if the plant can get that big, I mean, who has space for it? So I found one that didn't have a not for sale sign on it, so I hope that they will sell it to me. Update, they did not sell it to me. So we have beautiful yellow Rhipsalis, but unfortunately not for sale. This one is so pretty and it's hairy. I don't know if you can see it. It's hairy. Elongated leaves. Of course, not for sale.
Asiananthus, China.
Look at this, of course. But just look at this beauty. It is super long. And it has like these hairy leaves. That is gorgeous. That is feel very blessed and honored to have watched Andy and his team pollinate his orchids, and I'm super happy that you guys could witness it too.
Righty.
This is my final basket from Sunday, and I added the Peperomia Juncifolia in the neon green. It is a full and lush basket, and it was $36 US, and these are going straight into the terrarium, and I will cut a big chunk and propagate them. And then I went ahead, because it was love at first sight, and purchased the Octomeria Juncifolia with this thin long leaves. And I looked up online, they will produce super tiny cute flowers. And then I saw this other plant that looked like Peperomia, but it's actually not, with this million round leaves. I did not went ahead and purchase it, so I actually put it back. But then I saw the mounted elongated leaves on this piece of wood that was covered with moss. You can see it right here, and a lot of plants had algae on their leaves, which I don't mind. You can wipe it off if you mind, but I think it gives it so much character. And this one is the patula. Then I got the blue fern, which also is super cute. You can see it right here. Has this dark green foliage. And for the terrarium, they also sold just wood pieces or anything that you can also use to mount plants on it. And then the next one is the Polygiosum oxorium, and I thought I can just add this to the terrarium super easily, but the wood was already so smushy that when I arrived home it completely fell off, but it doesn't matter that much. And then this one, I talked about it a little bit earlier in the video. This is a very rare find, and it says it is the Peperomia Fraseri, but if you look up online it will show up a completely different plant. So I don't have the correct ID for this one. If you know it, let me know please in the comments. And these tiny leaves were $28 US. And that was all the plants that I purchased on Sunday at Andy Orchids. I also bought a big bag of the sphagnum moss, which got lost. Was it for the Andy Orchids plant tour. I want to give a big shout out to Andy, to Kevin and Victor, who helped me out the weekend. Of course there were many more workers who were super nice, but these 3 people, they helped me out a lot. Also, of course, big shout out to Esri, Luca, Sean, Eve, Hugo and Dee for the amazing plant trip, as well as shout out to Sharina and Crystal, who I also met that day at Andy Orchids. Thank you so much for watching.